Greetings from the Pacific Northwest. This is Tom Tucker, here today to help you celebrate the life of Ken Norman. Sorry I couldn't be there with you in person, but I want to share with you my memories and my reflections. In 1972, as I was starting 11th grade, I noticed an unusual character sitting in study hall class at the beginning of the school year. He was big and had dark curly hair and a baby face, and I had never noticed him at school before. Most unusually, he carried a canvas book bag, and it had a patch on it with a Star of David and a motto that said, "Never again." Now, I'd never seen anything like that in Oak Cliff. He sat there reading avidly, and I was intrigued by his appearance. As I walked by his desk, I was inspired to pluck the book out of his hands and ask him what he was reading. At that very moment, a wonderful friendship was born. Norm, as we called him, never Ken, became one of my best friends, along with Randy Simmons, who welcomed Norm into our already close friendship and companionship. From then on, the three of us were virtually inseparable, often joined by Norm's younger friend, Rocky Price. We called ourselves the Three Musketeers and Squire Incorporated. All for one and one for all. Norm's bedroom became our headquarters, and how his parents and his sister Carol put up with us there, I'll never know. When we weren't out carousing, that's where we were. Now, I can't tell you and share with you all of our adventures, but I can tell you that it was the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Our friendship was built on books, music, movies, poetry, and the sort of deep philosophical discussions that only teenagers can have. It was not, I'll hasten to add, built on sports or exercise. In fact, I had never met a person less interested in sports than Norm, even though he was big and as strong as an ox. What it was built on, above all, was laughter. And until I met my wife, I have never laughed so much or so deeply as I did in those years. The music we listened to, the books we read, the movies we saw, and the TV shows that we watched, the more irreverent they were, the more we liked them. It was a glorious time. Norm introduced us to Stevie Wonder, Elton John, and Blue Oyster Cult. We introduced him how things were done in Texas. His favorite books were the Flashman novels, but he read everything. We never missed Saturday Night Live in its excellent early days, and we watched every episode of Monty Python more times than you could count. We knew every line from Blazing Saddles and the words to every song from American Graffiti. We could sing the music from the album Viva Terlingua better than Jerry Jeff Walker. We went swimming, sightseeing, camping, boating, hiking, and cruising around the local Jack in the Box for hours. We ate out at our favorite restaurants every Friday and Saturday night, and always tried to come up with funny names to use when checking in at the desk or making reservations. It was hilarious, at least to us. Now, Norm's bedroom was on the second floor of his home, and one time we even devised a contraption for an emergency airlift when he had been grounded for 2 weeks and couldn't leave the house. My lips are sealed as to the nature of his infraction. In short, we had the time of our lives, and then we grew up. Now, I'll be honest. Outside of the fun I've had with my own wife and kids, I've never had as much fun as an adult as I did in those days. I think part of that is because Norm and Randy and I went our separate ways as we left high school and made our way out into the world. And the real world is just not as much fun. But we never forgot each other, and we always cared for each other, and we were eventually able to reconnect in person. 15 years ago, my wife surprised me by bringing Randy and Norm to Austin for my birthday in 2004. Norm had a special t-shirt made for the occasion, and I'm wearing it today. The logo says, The Three Musketeers, Austin, 2004. When we got together, I was overjoyed for the three of us to be together again, and I've been overjoyed ever since. There are three things I know for sure about Ken Norman. First, that his family, brothers, sister, and parents were the most important thing in his life. Second, that he loved his wife, Kelly, with all of his heart. And third, that he adored and was extremely proud of his daughter, Nikki. Now, here's one thing I know for sure about me. I am so glad and so grateful that I plucked that book out of the hands of a big curly-haired guy that we called Norm one day when I was starting 11th grade. Please raise your glasses and toast to Norm and to the Three Musketeers and Squire Incorporated. All for one and one for all. I love you, Norm, and I will miss you every day.